Hello everyone, I am Araidal Apriati. In this opportunity, I'm going to present a journal review entitled Students' Participation on Speaking Online Class. Introduction. Speaking class is one of the interesting classes for university students. This class gives the opportunity for them to improve their ability in speaking English and explore their creativity during class activities. However, not all the students have self-confidence to speak English in front of the class or to their classmates. According to Riasati 2018, one of the factors that make students not active to speak during teaching and learning processes is that they are shy to speak using English. The other problems on speaking English are mentioned by Naprival 2017. Those are: first, inadequate vocabulary knowledge; second, grammar as a stumbling block; third, fear of negative response from others; fourth, low self-esteem to speak in English; and fifth, feeling anxious to speak in English. Those problems can be solved by well-designed teaching methods. Pandemic is not over yet, and online class still become the choice for the learning and teaching process. Online class during the pandemic created some problems such as anxiety, stress, and depression among the university students. The researcher conclude that those illnesses could be the reason why in some occasions students do not participate as it is expected. According to Ure, there are some problems faced by the learners in speaking activity. Ure 1996, those problems can be explained as follows. First, inhibition. Unlike in reading, writing, and listening activities, speaking requires some real-time exposure to audiences. Commonly, learners are often inhibited from trying to say things in a foreign language, such as feeling worried about mistakes, fearful of others' criticism, or ashamed of the attention that their speech attracts. Second, lack of theme to be spoken. Some learners get the difficulties in thinking of anything to say. They have less motivation to express themselves beyond the guilty feeling that they should be spoken. Third, lack of participation. Mostly in a large group of people or in a certain situation that concludes some people, such as in the classroom, at least a person only who speaks while others urges the listener dominantly. This situation makes for an unlived conversation among them. It means that the skill of speaking is not supported yet sufficiently. Fourth, the use of mother tongue. In several classes, the learners usually say something in the mother tongue. They may tend to use it for some reason. Firstly, it is easier. Secondly, it feels unnatural to speak in a foreign language to one another. Lastly, they feel less exposed if they are speaking their mother tongue. When they are talking in small group, it can be quite difficult to keep using the target language. In this research, the researcher will look for some factors that make them not participate in their speaking class and offer some suggestions dealing with these factors. To collect the data, the researchers distribute questionnaire to 28 respondents. Based on the data, uh, the researchers conclude first, students' contribution. Based on the figure 2, 75% of the students always participate in class discussion, and only 25% of students sometimes participate in class discussion. Based on the observation data, which was taken from interviewing the lecturer, there are less than 75% students who always participate in class discussion voluntarily. The other students want to participate if the lecturer asks them to speak. They do not want to participate, although they know that the participation is graded. In figure 4, we can see that 64.3% of the students never choose not to participate in class discussion because it will be graded. 25% of the students sometimes choose to participate in class discussion. 7.1% of students rarely participate, and 3.6% of students say that she or he never participates. Second, students' conditions. Many factors affected the students' participation in speaking class. Reluctance becomes one of the factors that affect the respondents' participation. However, most of students are rarely feel reluctant to participate speaking class. It means they are willing to participate in class discussion with their own will, and they do it happily as they also enjoy the class activities. Those numbers show that although reluctance is one factor that determines the respondents' participation in speaking class, it does not give too much influence. There are some reasons why the students choose not to participate in speaking class, such as number 1, they were worried of making mistakes. Number 2, they did not get a chance to participate. And number 3, they did not like the lesson. There are some reasons why the students who want to participate in class discussion. Those are number 1, they realize that it was for their own good. And number 2, the teacher makes them to do that by calling their name. The students have been asked whether students are feeling bored during class. The number of those who answered rarely and sometimes is almost equal. Boredom, uh, boredom can be caused by many factors, such as the teaching method, the teacher's performance, and the student's condition. The writers also want to know whether there is a relationship between their habit in speaking English and their participation in the class. 60.7% of the respondents said they sometimes speak English in their daily life, but 32.1% said that they rarely do that. Meanwhile, only 7.1 of the respondents say that they always speak English in their daily life, which is a very small number out of 100%. Third, Internet issues. This research was conducted to find other issues of online courses faced by the lecturer when conducting speaking class. The students have been asked whether Internet issues influence their participation in the class discussion or not. Most of the students say sometimes they experience Internet issue, and almost there was no students experience it. The researchers conclude that the Internet issues are not the biggest problems in relating to giving participation during online class. It is true that we can see the number of respondents with zero internet issue is the lowest, which is not surprising, but the number of respondents with less issues is big. Discussion. Based on the results of the questionnaires and interviewing the respondents, all of the respondents like learning in speaking class. They want to enrich their vocabularies by communicating in English, so that they can speak English fluently. But some of the respondents still feel that speaking class is difficult. And those problems are becoming a bigger problem because of pandemic. Therefore, the role of the lecturers is very important. They have to motivate the students in the teaching and learning process to be more active in participating and giving contribution during the running class activities, and they should choose an appropriate teaching methods. Conclusion. Those issues somehow have affected the online teaching and learning process. Internet connection, which mostly became the hottest issue, and also the device being used, which was sometimes not compatible to the program used in the teaching and learning process. The other reason why they like to communicate offline, or they can communicate by seeing each other's gestures and body language, so that they can focus more on the communication itself and forget about technical issues caused by digital technology. All of students like learning to speak English, but some of the students still have difficulties in speaking class. It is because they still feel afraid of making mistakes when they speak. They are shy and not confident to say in front of the lecturer and their friends, and they are still confused when making a statement in English. Okay, this is the end of my presentation about a journal review entitled Students' Participation on Speaking Online Class. Thank you for your attention. See you next time.